Hey everyone, Ben here from the Bonehead podcast, and welcome to Undead Tournament Rosters. Yes, we've done this video before. This is the December 2020 update, and the reason we are doing that is because we've had the very lovely Necromantic team land, and with it came what I think is probably the best spike ever, Spike 11. So we're in the 2-11 format now, Series 2 and Spike 11, and with it came 3 cool new star players for the Undead teams. So if you've already seen the Undead tournament roster videos, we will not copy those rosters, we will just introduce new ones. So if you don't see what you like, please go check our other video out because it's probably in there. The 3 new star players: Wilhelm Cheney, movement 8, strength 4 werewolf; Frankenstein, a strength 5 break tackle golem; and Bryce the Slice Cambuel, a chainsaw star player for 130k, who once per half gets +4 instead of +3 with his chainsaw when blitzing. So if you want to know more about those, I've linked the playlist above here, which is for star player spotlights. They are all in there, and they are worth looking at and thinking through. So, Undead rosters of old we've done. Star players we've done. Let's have a look at what these 3 new guys bring to your Undead team. So first and foremost, we've got Wilhelm 1100. So just like the other tournament roster videos, we're going to look at 1100 builds and 1200 builds. Why? Because tournaments are going to start at 1100, with 1100, 1150, 1200, 1250 being probably the most common formats. What that means is with these rosters, you're going to kind of know what archetypes you can take, and then if you have to tweak it 50k up or down, you can do that quite merrily. It also means you'll kind of get an idea of what you're likely to face when it comes to Undead in a tournament. So Wilhelm at 1100. So this one comes in at 1090. You get Helmet Wolf, apparently. That should say Wilhelm Cheney. Anyway, as I was saying, Wilhelm 1100 does come in at 1090, and you get Wilhelm Cheney, who is our strength 4 movement 8 werewolf, so buff werewolf. Werewolves being some of the best players in the game, and a strength up being one of the best upgrades in the game as well. So this guy is pretty awesome. 1 mummy, 2 whites, 3 ghouls, 5 zombletons, and 2 rerolls. So to get him in at 1100, basically what you do here is you trade a mummy. You trade down a mummy to a zombie. You drop a reroll, but you can fit in a movement 8 strength 4 ball carrier. So you pay the strength there for that mummy. So your front line is now a mummy and some zombies, instead of 2 mummies and a zombies. Now, actually, you take a skill, you put guard on that mummy, you end up with 1 strength 5, 2 strength 4. Your front line is still just fine, and your reserve there is 2 whites. Now, just go and talk to a necromantic player to find out how much they love the white positional, because the white positional is great. It's basically a dead human blitzer, bit of strength gone, gets regeneration, movement 6, agility 3+, has block, has armor, really pro piece. So this roster, you've got 2 whites, 3 ghouls, and a werewolf, a strength 4 werewolf with that. So you've got 6 ball carriers here. 2 of them have got block, and 2 of them have got more than 3 strength. So this roster has a little bit of everything. Your only vulnerability is these 2 rerolls. Now, there's a lot of tournament pros out there who are happy with 2 rerolls. I personally like the idea of dropping, if you can, leader on a ghoul to boost that up. You may not be able to, however, because Undead are tier 1 and you may not get a chance to add any secondary skills. So you could be risking this at 2 rerolls. The only other thing I can see you doing is dropping the other mummy, running completely no mummies, maybe liquidate a ghoul as well, take that 3rd reroll. I just don't like it. What this roster does is you play with 1 less reroll, 1 less mummy, but you get a movement 8 strength 4 scoring threat. But if your roster is 1200, if your tournament is a 1200 event, for 1175 you get a much tastier roster. So you get Wilhelm Cheney, 2 mummies now, 2 whites, 3 ghouls, 4 zombletons, and 2 rerolls. Again, you're playing down on the rerolls, but now your front line is looking fantastic because you got both those mummies. You've got 2 mummies and 6 ball carrier threats. Not only do you have 6 ball carrier threats, but let's think about these positionals themselves. So the 2 whites are great, and Wilhelm Cheney makes an incredible safety. Someone in the comments said, free safety or strong safety? Quite frankly, this guy can be both. And he also makes a heck of a tight end. So Wilhelm Cheney is just an awesome star player. You are dropping 1 reroll from your ideal roster. and replacing it with a strength boosted bloomin' werewolf. Like, this is huge. I love undead teams. I think undead teams vanilla in a tournament are really solid. You spend your skills wisely, bit of guard here, bit of guard there, bit of block here, and the team performs brilliantly. You are risking it slightly with the reroll drop, but what you're getting in return is huge. Whether it is more or less better than a vanilla build at 1200 with your 4 rerolls, with all your positionals, is down to you. But if you've got a very cool Wilhelm Cheney miniature and you want to run that dude on the pitch, this team is and could be cooking significantly badly. Like, just going to be an absolute boss. But if you're not there to win, but you're there to have a very good time, then the Evil Dead 2 roster is the one you want to be running for Undead. So 1190 again at 1200 tournament, this will be absolutely fine. I say if you don't want to win, give me a second here. 2 mummies, 2 whites, 2 ghouls, 5 zombletons, and 2 rerolls. So 1 undead box, you get everything you need for this roster, except for the 2 star players. So you are running essentially a reroll down for a starting league team. Now, anybody who's played Undead, well, with them or against them in a league will know that that's not a bad thing at all. And then you introduce the bit of spice for this roster, which is not going to surprise any of you. We've got Bryce the Slice Cambuel and Helmut Wolf. So you get to dual wield chainsaw star players. So Bryce the Slice, once per half, I think, gets +4 chainsawing when he blitzes. So you blitz with Bryce, he's going to drop somebody down. Helmut Wolf has got a cool little pro skill that basically just means he's better at doing stuff than he should be. So both of those star players are really awesome. Plus you get to run 2 of your big guys, 2 of your blitzers, 2 of your ball carriers, a bunch of line muggles, and 2 cool chainsaws. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you guys, the symmetry of this roster is delicious. However, you get 2 chainsaws. You may be thinking, why don't I just take Bryce / Helmut and a bribe? You can totally do that. However, chainsaws are dangerous, and this means you can, if you have still got hold of them both in the second half, just deploy both chainsaws. Bryce goes around blitzing stuff, Helmut goes around fouling stuff. And on top of that, right, this is the crazy thing, with the exception of the fact you've only got 2 rerolls, you've got a very good undead roster here. The only thing missing is your 3rd or 4th ghoul and your 3rd or 4th reroll. So you take a hit in that, but you have got an absolute ton of star player, murdery, chainsaw, disasterless. So if you are an undead coach and you want to win a tournament with a league build and just upset people, this is going to be a pretty fun one to run. But if you're the kind of undead coach that really enjoys the strength 5 brutality of mummies, why not add a 3rd one? You can take Frankenstein and a 1200 build here. So the Frank 1200 we've got for you, 1170 all in, so that gives you a few cash for coaches. Frankenstein, 2 mummies, 2 whites, 2 ghouls, 5 zombletons, and 2 rerolls. So again, if you can squeeze leader in here, that would be absolutely wonderful. If you're worried about leader, you can drop a couple of positionals down and take that. But the point of this roster is it gives you just one of the most massive front lines available to any team with no nega trait. Movement 3 may be considered a nega trait, and Loner may be considered a nega trait, but you just need to go and play with a troll for a couple of games, then you'll learn some things. So Frankenstein and 2 mummies, you chuck bit of guard, maybe you've got the doubles for block, I don't think you will have, and you really want to be using that first double if you've got it. Sorry, secondary skill on your ghoul to get a leader reroll, just to make the rest of your team more manageable. But Frank's got break tackle, so you've got 2 mummies who are strength 5 mighty blow. They're going to be doing great work. You've got Frank, who's also strength 5 mighty blow, and he's got break tackle. So you've basically got a 3rd mummy with extra movement, and he's dodging away once per turn on a 2+. So don't go cage diving with him, that's a terrible idea. But actually, being able to maneuver him to go for a big blitz, to just put him in places to support, is pretty awesome. And he comes with stand firm, so he's just going to make your cage game even better. So at Bonehead Bowl 1, my team was a hybrid team between Undead and Khemri, which meant I had 4 Tomb Guardians and 2 mummies. And let me tell you, that cage was a Death Star cage. It was fantastic. And Frank gets you half the way there. So benefit of this roster, 3 big guys, 3 big guys, okay, Chaos Renegade teams, looking at you here, with 2 whites and 2 ghouls, so you still got the ability to move the ball and do things you want to do. Like I said, the only vulnerability here is that reroll situation, but you know what, I think you can work around it. You're going to have to, but what it does give you is just an absolute amount of bash. And last but not least, paying homage to the FAQ that's dropped, revealing that the rulebook is not wrong. You can use more than 1 reroll per turn now. I thought it would be worth looking at just what you can get for 1200 if you want to go reroll heavy. So say you don't want to run a star, and let's face it, Undead are tier 1 for a reason, is because they do great stuff on their own. We've always talked on the podcast, especially around leagues, that actually rerolls, leader and things like that makes your whole team just more consistent. And now having those rerolls, seriously, you can fluff a big guy block and still reroll to pick up the ball like in 1 turn. And I'm sure you've all been in situations where you've burnt your reroll and now your rest of your turn is looking absolute garbage and it's turn 1 of the game. Don't worry, you can now do that. So 1200 roster here. 2 mummies, 2 whites, 4 ghouls, 3 zombletons, and 5 rerolls. That looks like a lot. I'm going to check my maths. Undead mummy 2, white 2, ghoul 4, 3 zombies, 5 rerolls. Man, you get a ton. Right, love undead at tournaments. Bloomin' heck. I had to check my maths then because I figured that's an absolute ton. 5 rerolls. You do not have to worry about trying to scrounge together a leader reroll here from one of your ghouls. You get 4 ghouls. Now what you can do is drop 2 of those ghouls down into 3 zombies to boost up your numbers because obviously there's a little bit of fragility there. On the other hand, you've got 4 movement 7, 3 strength dodge pieces, plus 2 movement 6 block armor boys and 2 mummies. So you get a full-on... This is League team. This is Dream League team for Undead in a tournament here. 5 rerolls means you are going to be able to overcome your passing deficiencies, your agility deficiencies. But with this roster anyway, you don't have agility deficiencies. You've got 4 agility 3 plus guys with dodge, 2 agility 3 plus guys with block. This is a human team that comes with 2 movement 3 ogres that don't have a nega trait, and some zombies who are just terrible linemen. This is really exciting, and it also means that at 1100 you can tweak this very differently. So at 1100 you drop a reroll and you downgrade a ghoul into a zombleton. You're running 2 mummies, 2 whites, 3 ghouls, 4 zombies and 4 rerolls at 1100. So your comparative strength is absolutely massive. So this is one of the teams that you can actually key in to reroll spam without having to give up a sausage. Not a sausage was given up for this roster. You've got your big guys in your mummies. You've got max blitzers. You've got max runners. And then you've got some linemen. The only thing you're missing is a spare lineman. But you know what? I think I would risk running 10 players if blooming 6 of them are 3 plus guys and 2 of them are strength 5 guys. This roster is a powerhouse and really keys into that FAQ update. So FAQ... I am excited to see how this influences things, and let me tell you, if I'm playing against an Undead team that's got 5 rerolls, I know they are going to have a couple of turns that just do stuff, and with this lineup, whatever stuff they are going to do, I am not going to enjoy. Anyway guys, those are all the rosters I've got for you for the update to Undead tournament rosters. Please let me know in the comments below what you think of these, what you think of our new star players, and what you think of reroll spam, because there's definitely an angle to look at. I'm not sure yet. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Do let me know what you think, and I will see you again soon for more Blood Bowl content. Nearly made it. Bye.